we are recording. So, just for now, just to start with, we need to be able to convert between different units of length and area. Now, we will extend this to volume at some point, but we just don't need to at this stage. Now, this is one thing that people find quite difficult, actually, to understand. Well, I wouldn't say understand necessarily, but to get right. Okay? So, do you know what I thought was very interesting? I didn't know this. In your book, on page 229, it says a historical note. The metre. Okay. What? They're in all. I know it's the same book. That's why it's in all of them.
No, it's in all of them.
Okay.
Look in all of the chapters.
Yeah. No, like just this particular one is something I didn't know. About the metre, and like it was always like, how do you decide how long a metre is? Who decided that? And things like the old imperial units that America still uses and Britain used to, like the inch was the length of a thumb, the end of your thumb.
Was like the end of your thumb.
The knuckle to the thumb is
Yeah.
an inch, yeah.
On every person.
And your foot, a foot, is from here to your elbow.
I thought it was from your wrist to your elbow.
That-
No, it's your wrist. It's your wrist.
Wrist,
Yeah,
is
because
it?
everybody's fingers are different lengths.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that was because that's the length of your foot as well.
My foot's huge.
If you can put your foot, I
No,
can't.
your foot's
And
just
horses are measured in. Who does horse riding? How tall's a horse? Do you know? They're measured in
Hands.
hands. Horses are measured in hands because you do. My horse is 20 hands tall, and things like that. All right. So things were measured in easy ways to do it, and you kind of think, who decided that? Well, it was obviously, well, I'm going to measure something that's the right about small with my thumb, so that's why we did it. But what about the metre? I didn't know this. So it's, you read there. It's changed, hasn't it? It says the metre is really defined as the distance light travels in a vacuum in one, whatever that number is, of a second. Okay, so light travels very fast. So so that's how long light travels in.
A second.
Not a second, no. In 1/299 millionth odd of a second. So a very, very short time. That's how far it travels. That's why a metre.
For the sun's rays to get to you.
Yeah.
So why would you make that one?
Okay, so that was just it. And then once they took the metre is the main thing. Okay, so they started with a metre. Now here's a question: is it metre or is it metre?
meter.
Meter is American spelling, and then meter is the English spelling.
I think it's French originally.
It looks French.
These are
It
meters. What we know as the metric system is a part of what we call the SI units. So if you're interested in looking up whatever the SI stands for,
Standard.
so but meter as well is a meter to measure things, I think. But I get confused. Now the meter is the main one, and we base everything from that. So what do we have using meter? So obviously we have a bigger version would be kilometer, which would be 1,000 times.
That's 100.
Yeah, no, I should have written it down. And then centimeter, okay?
100 of
Yeah, a 100th, okay, of a meter. Centi, like a cent is
100.
100th of a dollar.
A centipede is
Centipede. Meter with no T in it. Meter.
If we're American.
Meter.
And then obviously there is milli. Meter, which is milli is one
One valiant.
1,000th of a meter. Yeah.
Why is it called million?
Like a millipede.
What's about?
No, because
Mil.
it again, it's French.
Mil.
You should know that.
I know. It's just it got.
Mm.
I think in Roman numerals, n is 1,000.
Yeah.
So you think it's like million, but it's 1,000.
So we can remember all those terms. It's based around meters, and actually, although it's not length and area, where else do we see? Sorry, I will put that back on. Where else do we see kilo? Gram. So kilograms. You know, milligrams.
Oh, I thought million.
Right? One is kilograms, milligrams, milliliters. So we use the same things. Okay? Yeah.
Where does it like a million come from?
Million.
Because million is 1,000.
But mille is French for 1,000. So remember, not everything's done in English. So you do it in English, but these.
But million have something to do with thousand because it's million.
But million. What's French is still million, isn't it? But but I think in measurements we don't tend to go up to million.
Yeah.
So there's no unit.
Because that had the millimeter had the milli and then one hour. Oh my god.
But milli is 1,000 in French.
Yeah.
That's why. What?
The system international.
There you go. The international system of units. Yeah.
Just going back a bit to how masses were measured in hands, why aren't we measured in units?
Why aren't we measured in? Because horses don't care how tall we are.
Oh.
Right, okay, so just to say then, one thing that you hopefully will help you remember is the kilo being 1,000 meters. Centi, like in money, dollars, cents, is 100th. Milli being 1,000th.
Milli's 1,000 years old.
Yeah, centipede supposedly has 100 legs.
But they have more than 100.
Millipedes have 1,000.
12.
Never heard that word.
1,000.
12 legs. Who would have 12?
No, milli, because it says millimeter. Milli must be 1,000.
Apart from her name's spelt differently.
No, milli's 1,000.
She'll be very glad that you're talking about her because she's got to watch this.
Yep. Millie won't mind.
No.
Hi, Millie.
Hello.
Hi, Millie.
So we change it.
Maya.
So we change it
Yeah,
to
them too.
millimeter. Shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo-woo.
Right. So we've got these now. This is a length, obviously. So what people get confused about, for instance, if I said to you, you have a length which is 5 centimeters. All right. And I said to you, how many meters is that? All right. Now people make mistakes here, and if they stopped and thought about it, they wouldn't do, but they do. So 5 centimeters. What do you think the common mistake would be?
0.5.
That's not actually the common mistake.
5 meters.
No.
It's not the correct answer. 5. It's 50. 0.5.
What's the common mistake?
Oh. 50 meters because 5 millimeters is 10 below the centimeters, and so they would think that it would be 10 above the centimeters.
Although it's 100.
Times by
10. Oh, yeah, I get
Yeah,
you.
because they would think that it would be.
Oh, okay, I get you. The one that I actually think most people would say is, say, 500.
Yeah.
But that makes no sense.
But it's the opposite way.
Because what we say, we have this. If I write this thing down, so we have millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. And we say, right, as you go from one to the next, they're getting bigger, yeah? All right? And what we do, we have to be very careful. So how many millimeters make a centimeter?
10
10. So we can write times 10. So 10 millimeters make a centimetre. How many centimetres make a metre? 100. So I write times 100. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then kilometres, metres to kilometres is times 1,000. Do you notice how nice the numbers go up? Which is why the metric system makes it. Remember we were talking base 10? That's why it's so nice with these measurements. The old imperial units were horrible. You know? Do you remember from the cards how many yards in a mile?
1.3.
It's like 356 or something.
It's like
Wait, it's
1,700. Remember?
But that's
It's
so
24.
specific. Like a yard is like point something.
Exactly. That's why this is right now. Can you see then? If I write down this, there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter, 100 centimeters in a meter, meters. Can you see why someone would go? Okay, if I've got centimeters, how many meters is it? 5 centimeters times 100 is 500 meters. But it's not, is it? Okay. So I'm telling you this so that you're not going to make the same mistake. So this diagram here, all right, if you have a look at the bottom of your page 229, you'll actually see the diagram written better. Okay, so they write kilometers, meters, sorry, I was doing a double one, centimeters, and millimeters, and they actually do it the other way. So kilometers to meters is times 1,000. Now that's because there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer, okay? Rather than 10 millimeters makes a centimeter, we say take the kilometers, multiply that by 1,000, tells you how many meters. How many centimeters will you have if you have a meter? So we times it by 100. So we actually have to do the diagram the correct way round.
So you just did it the wrong way.
So we just, but don't Tipp-Ex it out. Write in your notes, this will be the wrong diagram. Don't Tipp-Ex it out. Don't Tipp-Ex in your book. Bad for you.
Wait, so which?
Right, so what I'm saying is this one, this diagram here, leads to mistakes. Okay? It leads to mistakes. Do you understand why?
Yes.
Yeah.
But imagine, this is a mere 500.
Exactly. But again, that's it. That's what people don't do. They don't imagine. They go, well, I've got 1 kilometre. How many metres is that? You know, a lot. Loads. But they seem to think, because we start with this different diagram, they seem to think, oh, but metres are smaller.
Which means there's more in that distance.
So they kind of think if it's a smaller thing, we should divide. Do you remember the common thing is, how do you make something bigger? You multiply. How do you make something smaller? You divide. But actually, it's not in this case. If we've got the smaller unit, by the way, I'm going to change that to an M. It's annoying, isn't it? We change it to an M. So it's not about it's the smaller unit. It's how many of them do we have? And we are going to have more. So in the same way then, how do we go the other way up the diagram? So if you want to convert millimetres into centimetres, we have to divide by 10. If you want to convert centimetres to metres, you divide by 100. Metres to kilometres, you divide by 1,000. Okay? Now, how do you convert millimetres to kilometres?
You divide by 10, divide by 100, divide by 10.
Yeah. So you just do it each time.
Or
Alright.
1,110.
So, did you just say divide by 10, divide by 100, divide by 1,000 is the same as
No,
dividing
no,
by
no, it's
1,110?
not. No, really not.
Good. So these are the length units. Okay.
Is it this 6 zeros?
Yes, that's what you're saying. Yeah. So what do you? If I want to go directly from millimeters to kilometers, you have to divide by, oh, sorry. Come back, where is it? So what do you have to divide? Millimeters to kilometers, you have to divide by a 10, then 100, then 1,000. So we actually divide by a million. Yeah?
Oh, please.
Wait, then what would you call to get from millimeters to kilometers? You need to divide.
Wouldn't you?
Because
Wouldn't it be?
how many kilometers have you got compared to millimeters?
A lot less.
So if I said to you, you've got cents in your pocket, you've got lots and lots of tiny little cent coins, will you have a lot of dollars?
Can you scroll a bit?
Probably.
No, you won't have a lot of dollars.
No.
Because a cent, 100
It depends
cents
how many
is a
coins you
dollar.
have.
It does depend on how many coins, but you will have, if I change your cent coins into dollar coins, you will suddenly go from a massive pocket full of coins to just a few coins, yeah?
Okay.
So you imagine I've got lots and lots of small coins, and I have to divide them up, and if I have 10, well, if I have 100 cent coins, how many dollars do I get? One. Yeah? So I've got to divide all my coins into lots of 100 to figure out how many dollars.
So if you have like 10 millimeters, you need to divide that by a million?
Yeah, so for instance, this is what people get wrong, which is if I measure 240 millimeters, okay, how many meters is that? Yeah.
Negative. I mean,
So divide by
0 point.
So what I would suggest you do when you answer a question is we go, I'm now going to write this the other way round, but I'm at millimeters, and I go, the next one is centimeters, then meters, that's all I need. So millimeters to centimeters, we divide by 10. Centimeters going up to meters, we divide by 100. So what do we have? Well, 240 millimeters divided by 10 is 24 centimeters. Divided by 100 is 0.24 meters. And it makes sense. 240 centimeters, whatever that is. And you've got a meter is this big, so you haven't even got a full meter, have you? No, yeah, we're not. 24 centimetres, yeah. Not a full metre. So it makes sense when you think about it. You need 100 centimetres to make a metre, and I definitely haven't got
I
that.
just wasn't thinking about changing the units.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it sorted? Okay.
Yeah.
Once you're finished writing it down, if you turn to page 230, okay, you've got exercise 11A. Alright. We won't worry about question 1, we'll do that together in a minute. Right, question 2 as well, and question 3. So start at question 4. And I'll get you to do them all, question 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, because it won't take very long if you're focused and getting on with it. Right, so we're looking at exercise 11A, page 230, question 4 through to question 8. Right.